Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Factorio. I am checking to see if we're making plastic somewhere. I feel like we must be. Guess I need to put some symbols down. This is sulfur. That is iron bars, which we already have marked. I just couldn't see it, apparently. Rails. Sulfuric acid. And that is molten iron and iron plate. I didn't push the button to update the stream ID or stream title. Oops. Pretty sure I did, but apparently it didn't take. So I've changed the title now. If that was not doing anything. This is uranium. So here's Covarex. And engines. Water. Regular engines. Red circuits. We're making red circuits, so we have to be making plastics somewhere. Pipes. That is light oil cracking. Heavy oil cracking. Solid fuel from petroleum gas. Solid fuel from light oil. By process of elimination, this must be solid fuel from blah, 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 blah. Solid fuel from heavy oil. Words are hard. And you. Rocket fuel. Batteries. Robot flying frames. Or flying robot frames. Plastic. There's plastic. How much are you requesting? Ah, these are broken. Okay, you're going to be requesting, oh, let's just say 500 coal. There. Because I have too much coal in here. 1.3 million coal in these chests. Okay. This required to make some artillery. Tungsten. Okay. There's something making explosives, it looks like. Unless I already have. Shouldn't. Give a train deadlock. No, the train's eventually moved. Ah. Okay, I see what the problem is. This train isn't at this station. It has technically left this station, so this station is requesting another train. That will eventually fix itself. Okay, I'm making some explosives right here. Nope, that's locomotives. I'm not currently making explosives. First things first. Let us set an import target for, let's say, 2,000 tungsten plate. Although I'm also going to come to Volcanus and probably build them here. I think. Let's see. Probably not. We're probably going to bring the tungsten bars here. Because they have a stack size of 1. and a rocket capacity of 5. So I could build 5 of these. Okay, we could send 10 at a time. And the plates stacked 50. So surprisingly, it is actually more efficient to make the artillery turrets on Volcanus. So we'll do that. Move that. Because we've got a lot of biter nests that we need to eliminate. Oh, keep pressing the wrong buttons. Okay. They are made in assemblers. Right, they're going to need iron gear wheels, tungsten plate, fine concrete. Fine concrete. How bad is that going to be? I mean, technically not that bad. But I bet I don't have any over here. Yeah. Probably don't have concrete either. And honestly, the only planet we're ever going to need them is Navis. So we'll just make them on Navis. Put the request back. $2,000 tungsten plates. And let's request you. Say 500 plates at a time. Oh, your bullets. Your bullets are fine. Go to Volcanus. Just gonna put 2 of these here. How about an artillery train? All right, the shells. Yeah, they stack to 1. Okay. I need to start importing bioflux. Let's go with 500. All right, you're sitting here. You don't have much ammunition. Or no, you were completely loaded with normal bullets. Okay. Now turn you back on and go to Gleba, please. Now, Gleba might actually be shut down and not have any bioflux. No. It has bioflux. It's a lot of it, in fact. I'm going to put a request on me for 500 bioflux. All right. Need to make some biolabs. Because I really need to get research running again. Biolabs. They require 10 spider eggs and 2 capture bot rockets. And uranium-235. Okay, I'm going to put this right here. Your job's to make biolabs. As is yours. And right next to you, this guy whose job's going to be to make labs. Turn you back on too. Right, do I have bioflux yet? Okay, we're running. I've got an hour and 12 minutes. I don't want to be in that big of a hurry. Alright, I apparently needed some of those capture bots myself. Alright, we are armed. What do biolabs need? 10 biter eggs. I'm gonna keep picking them up here until we're down to like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Got enough to make in 2030. But put 4 in each of these. Take what we got, head up here and make as many biolabs as we can. Then we'll come back down, get all that they've picked up in that time, make more biolabs, and then we should have enough biolabs to do whatever we want to do for now. And we're going to lift these, and we're going to set this to something like that many. Just so these things can keep producing. I don't remember what the button is to change my weapon. But I think I have done enough with this. Alright. Now, just for safety, alright, that ought to make sure this is safe. I really kind of wish you weren't here. Don't mind. Also, why aren't you working? Now, while that works, we're going to get artillery shells being made. Right, artillery shells require explosives, calcite, tungsten plate, and radars. That's 4 items. That is going to be making artillery shells. Move that. Move this one. My bots are turned off. And here. This. This is not going to be calcite, though. Crash unrequested. You request tungsten plate. And you probably need to request like 500. Already taking damage, are you? Why? There's going to be plenty of bullets. We're at Volcanus. Oh, we are going to Volcanus. Like, I know I have plenty of plate here. I'm actually surprised that these chests aren't full. But anyway. How is biolab production going? We're running low on refined concrete. Okay, you probably need to request more than 900. Let's go with not 20, 200. Not 20,000. The bots have a good distance they have to travel for that. So. Minutes. Maybe I need to do this and make more biolabs with all haste. Because we have 55,000 refined concrete out there. Just the logistics bots are busy. Which just means we need more logistics bots. Well then. Get out there. And do your work. Why has flying robot frame production ceased? Because we seem to be missing electric engines. What seems to be our major malfunction when it comes to electric engines? Probably just a case of electric engines are expensive to make. And making a train full of them isn't really something people normally do. Green chips. What's our problem with green chips? By missing some basic material like iron plates or something. We seem to be missing a basic material like iron plates or something. Alright, why don't we have iron plates? Ah, we don't have enough to fill a train. I see. That means we need more production. Because our bots are stealing our iron plates for other things faster than our iron plate factory can actually make them. Apparently including this one. Yeah, definitely this one. Well, let's see. If our iron casting is running at the speed it is, how's our molten iron? It is basically infinite right now, okay? So let's just make more casting. Just do a copy. That. And put it right there. While we're at it, another one there. Another one there. Evening, Kyle. How's it going? Nice. All right. I need more than 200 landfill. Or I could just disable my bots and let the system's bots actually do the work. It's probably smarter. Alright, things are probably getting a little dicey down here at Biolab production. Let's make sure that we're not about to have a problem. It looks like we might be about to have a problem. 4 minutes left. Right, the problem is refined concrete. So I'm disabling personal logistics for a minute. Over here and find my refined concrete, which is the next cell. And let's grab a bunch of it. Biolabs require biter eggs to manufacture. And if you don't use the biter eggs quickly enough, they will hatch into biters. And biters like to bite things. Oh, we're out of bot capture rockets now. So this is probably about to explode in my face. Let's see, what do bot capture rockets require? There. They require stuff that we don't have. So, I need... Well, I do have some. You can have these. I need bullets. Bring me bullets. Because I need to kill this chest. In the next minute and a half. I can't remember what the controls are to switch guns. It's something simple. I just always forget. C. I thought I pressed C. First, now I can't remember what the command for shoot is. This stuff is usually done automatically for me, game. I don't remember how to manually do these things. Shoot. Shift spacebar. There. Chest destroyed. So, those biter eggs have been taken care of. I don't need this anymore. You guys can stop bringing me combat supplies. I'll slap one of these down to make the things, but I don't think I actually have the materials on this planet to do it. Or we have some bioflux. Trash unrequested, please. But yeah, that's why I have this little factory surrounded by laser turrets. I was prepared for this to fail. Guess I should, I'm making these on Gleba. Feels like something I should have been making. I was making this on Gleba. Well, it's probably too late, but I can rest our cargo ship. It's already doing it. But we're not requesting any. So let's request 50 things. And you We're almost at Gleba at this point, so you're probably not going to make it back in time. These have 4 minutes left. Alright. These aren't up and running yet. These are. Good. These are not. This one is, though. So I will soon have enough iron plates to actually get chip production back up and running. Here? Yeah. I'm gonna set this to something lower. 2,000. Those might actually be unaccessible. Okay, out here. Yes, please. Let's get our rails built. I need to build some more trains. How are things over here? Turn off trash unrequested. And I'm going to dismantle most of these. Nope, that is not what I wanted you to do. Oh, some biters came to life and then immediately died. Trash unrequested. Okay, I think our lasers might have been sufficient for this. Okay, we do not have any biter eggs in the logistic network. Okay. And over here, through the chest network. Sometimes it can be. I mean, if I was actually out here, you know, fighting the biters, then yeah, it could get pretty crazy sometimes. But luckily they're happy with me at the moment because I'm keeping my pollution out of their face. Well, except these. But these have the disadvantage of being on islands, so they can't reach me. Unless I were to, you know, actually build onto their islands. Okay, inventory cleaned up. You were in a bad spot. Why are you here? You're planning on going around there, I see. But this is full. You're just going to sit here forever? Alright, I'm going to get on this train. See if I can just go ahead and just tell it. Come over here. This is red. Let's break that there. 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 Uh-oh. Go to a water unloading station. That's where you need to be. There. I don't really know a whole lot about what's coming. I did see the announcement today that Weak Auras is going to be discontinuing service when midnight comes out. So that could cause some chaos. But I mean, I've been having fun playing War Within, so I expect I'll have fun in midnight. But the add-on changes are going to be controversial at the least. We'll see how things work out, though. Because I have fun in Final Fantasy XIV, and they don't allow add-ons at all there. So... okay, what do we have up here? The only thing missing is the tungsten plate. Okay. So I must actually be... well, I don't have a lot of explosives here. Alright, let's make some explosives somewhere. What do explosives require? It's not much, I don't think. But... yeah, a lot of the add-ons, or a lot of the major ones, Blizzard's talking about adding their own version of. But a lot of other stuff, they're basically just saying that they're tired of people using it, and they want it to stop. And I get it, because there's a video out there from Folding Ideas called Why It's Rude to Be Bad at World of Warcraft. And it does a very good job of explaining both the benefit and the problem with being basically having free reign with your add-ons. Basically, it's a constant arms race between Blizzard and the add-on creators. What content can Blizzard make that is challenging enough to challenge the people using the add-ons? Which at the same time basically makes content that is impossible if you're not using add-ons. Because, like, for example, I don't know if you've ever watched any of my FF14 streams, but if we're running a dungeon in FF14 and one of my guildies dies, we're usually okay. Because FF14 has mechanics both to, you know, bring back dead party members even while in combat, but it also has just... there's a lot of dodging you have to do, but if you successfully dodge, you don't die. Whereas in Blizzard content, it's you must successfully dodge or you will die. But even if you do successfully dodge, just the passive damage that's going around is still going to kill everybody. So... not just the add-ons that exist, but what add-ons could be made to counter what you're making. Because if you make something that no add-on exists to handle this, someone will make an add-on that will do it. Indeed. And I mean, this isn't the first time that Blizzard has cracked down on add-ons getting out of hand. But, yeah, weak auras... like, I myself have never really found much use in weak auras. but I know people who do use it, and you can do insane things with it. Indeed. But I mean, also, when it comes to Onyxia, the whelps and the deep breath are about the only thing that you needed to keep track of. So everything's fine. But in combat encounters now, there's like 5 or 6 cooldowns you need to be keeping an eye out at all times. There will be regions of the battlefield that are going to get blasted at any given moment. You have to know which ones they are, when the next one's going to come up. And yeah, it's just they keep adding more mechanics and more mechanics to make the fights more challenging, and the add-on creators keep making bigger and better add-ons to make it easier to handle those challenges. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Like, I personally, I use a lot of add-ons, but most of mine are quality of life kind of add-ons. So other than deadly boss mods, that's probably the only thing that's on my list that's going to get disabled. Other than weak auras, because I do have weak auras installed, even if I don't use it very much. Okay, two belted, 1 liquid. I didn't notice. Was that chemical plants or was that assemblers? Chemical plants is what we need. Okay. This one uses chemical plants. Okay, that is what we need. And you will be making explosives. Well, I mean, Blizzard themselves, they don't host the add-ons. There are various add-on websites, but for the most part, you don't really have to worry about, uh, you know, the stuff you would normally have to worry about on random websites that are supporting add-ons and mods for games. Because most of them are reputable sites at this point. But yeah, I don't think Blizzard wants to be in the market of what's the word I'm looking for? Actually servicing the add-ons. What they want is basically they're just going to make it where the add-ons don't work. Or they cannot do the things that Blizzard doesn't want them to do. Which at the moment looks to be they are not going to allow add-ons access to combat log data. So the add-ons won't be able to see what damage you're doing, what abilities you're using, what abilities the enemies are using. So, yeah. Like, you might still be able to set up add-ons that would assist with timings, but you would probably have to tell them what the timings are. As opposed to now, where they can just detect what's happening and handle it from there. I don't want to pave this at this time. And then we also need radars. And radars are easy, aren't they? They're just like a couple of chips and some plates. Yeah, 3 belted. Why aren't you running? Oh, you are loading. Okay, I see. But like the add-ons that I run on my WoW account, like I have LUI, which overhauls my UI completely because Blizzard added some UI modification tools, but they were woefully insufficient for my needs. Of course, all that does is let me move my windows around, adjust sizes of things, all that sort of stuff. And I have another add-on that makes it where my windows don't close when I open other windows. Like, I know, like, if you played WoW back in the day, if you had, like, your character page open, and then you opened your friend list, your character page would close. Because there's not room for both of them to be up on the screen at the same time. Yeah, I have an add-on that disables that. So, I can just stack stuff on top of each other. And with my UI modification, I can move windows around so I can actually adjust where they are and have room for everything if I need it. And, of course, I have all the things, which is kind of a collection log. This tells me, you know, what mounts and pets and everything that I'm missing. And, like, so, nothing really there. I do have a DPS meter, and DPS meters will stop working. Blizzard says they're going to add their own. I'm fine with that. I don't know why, but DPS meters have always been kind of resource intensive, so maybe if Blizzard has one built into the client, it will be less resource intensive, which would be nice. And, see, I have a UI add-on that makes the little quest pop-ups nicer. I've overhauled my quest list because I don't like the way the default Blizzard quest list works. Of course, I have DBM, or Deadly Boss Mods, which will also stop working. And, of course, what it does is, you know, it tells you timings on boss maneuvers and some advice on what to do with it. Like, it will yell at me to run. Like, I don't know what I'm running from, but I know I should run, so I run. I'd believe that. Of course, I don't know what Blizzard's going to do, guys, with, again, with their current, you know, the way the game is played, you need Deadly Boss mods or bigwigs to even play the game. So, if Blizzard removes those, which they've said they're going to, they're going to have to do something about game design to make it work. But if you have not watched the Folding Ideas video, why it's rude to be bad at World of Warcraft, I very much recommend it, because it's a very interesting take on it. It was actually one of the first videos that popped up in my feed from Folding Ideas, and they do good work on most every video they put out. I'm hopeful. Like, I'm not being doom and gloom about the add-on system, because I like add-ons, but I will admit sometimes what World of Warcraft feels like it has gotten a little out of hand with the things. So, okay, so let's take a look around here. Do we have green chips working? It's got another load of copper wire in. Hmm. I begin to see the problem. I'm going to need to redesign this factory. So let's do that, that. Break this here, break that there. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some belt threading, because half a belt of copper wire is not enough for this. Alright, so we're gonna have underground, underground. Alright, have a good one, Kyle. Okay, that isn't. How was that? just gonna have to sacrifice this beacon here. There. Turn my bots on. Alright, now we need blue undergrounds. That. Yeah, that ought to make things a little bit better, at least. Although it would probably help if I connected this up. Yeah, this probably needs to be 18,000, not 6,000. Probably the same on this. That one is still working. Okay, this one is not correct. Break. Because these should not be requesting this. These are chips. Why are you requesting iron plate? You should never be requesting iron plate. Crash unrequested. There. Okay. This one here. Here. That one there. But those three are going to be merged in one supercell, which is going to be our research cell. Aquilo cargo ship, you're not actually doing anything. I would like you to go to Gleba. We're going to add a section here. Grab. All the red science. All the green science. Basically, you're going to start grabbing all the science that we sent over to Gleba. Because now I want it brought back. The only thing you're not going to grab is the Gleba specific science pack. Oh, this one here was already doing that. I see. I wanted to produce green ships, and I wanted 2 green belts of green ships. December 3s. I may have to redesign the chip cell, take iron and copper inputs. I don't really want to, because you have to put, or you won't get nearly as many machines. But I think as things going right now, we're not getting enough. We're not getting enough material there to make it the things. And basically never will. Even if these belts were full. Of course, at some point, we're going to have to actually start using the beacons. Let's leave that alone. We'll come down here and we'll get to work back on the science thing. This one is not going to be named this. It's going to simply be called artillery shell. Oh, they came and just took my... Move this. Alright, now I need... Yeah, the artillery doesn't have a whole lot of range at the moment. That's okay. It will be a while before we need that, but we want to go ahead and have our artillery shells being produced. You know, when it's time to do it, we can actually do it. Loaded down with military science packs for reasons. Interestingly enough, those are the only science packs that the planet has, which seems odd. Ah. Alright, guys. I think I'm going to call it here for the night. I'm too sleepy to figure this out. But next time, we will build our new science area and hopefully start getting some science running. So, until then, I'll be back tomorrow with more Neo 2. Assuming, of course, my schedule works out, because it might not. And beyond that, we'll be back on Sunday with more Silk Song. So until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.